Welcome to this explainer. Look, right now, there is an absolute beast of an AI tool sitting out there that practically nobody knows about. While everyone's been distracted by the usual big names in the industry, Google quietly dropped Antigravity 2.0. This is a platform that essentially puts an entire software development agency right onto your laptop. So today we're going to break down exactly what makes this tool such a devastatingly powerful hidden superpower. We'll show you how it can prove incredibly useful for your own projects, and most importantly, how it can help you completely automate your daily tasks without you ever writing a single line of code.
But before we get into the actual mechanics of how this beast operates, we really have to ask the multi-million-dollar question sitting right in front of us. Can a completely free tool genuinely replace a $20 a month AI coder? You know, tools like Cursor, Lovable, or the established heavyweights from Anthropic and OpenAI, they all want your money before you can build anything meaningful. But what happens when a tech giant quietly releases something that rivals and in some ways totally surpasses those paid tools, entirely for free?
All right, here is a quick look at our roadmap for unpacking this thing today. We'll cover the hidden AI superpower, agents in parallel, automating daily tasks, no-code app building, why it's free, and finally, the catch.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the hidden AI superpower.
Listen, for the last couple of years, if you wanted serious AI coding on your laptop, it meant paying around $20 every single month to access tools like Claude Code or Codex. That $20 toll has just become the standard entry fee for a capable digital copilot. And honestly, for a long time, Google was perceived as being completely out of the race.
But here is where we see the massive difference. The traditional way of doing things, like with Claude Code, requires developers to manually set up all their subagents and workflows. It's a hassle, right? It takes time and technical know-how just to get it running. But Antigravity 2.0, it's fundamentally designed around autonomous agents. The absolute second you give it a complex task, it dynamically spins up specialized subagents and runs them in parallel, automatically. It's not just helping you write code line by line. It's acting like a complete team, where one guy builds the front end, another handles the back end, and someone else is debugging, all at the exact same time.
Moving right along to Section 2, agents working in parallel.
The engine driving these agents is just nuts, and it's what makes this a true powerhouse. Running on Google's new Gemini 3.5 Flash model, it's pumping out code at an astonishing rate of nearly 800 tokens per second. 800! That sheer speed makes certain development workflows feel up to 12 times faster than the traditional AI coding tools you might be used to.
And to prove this isn't just hype, Google pulled off an incredible live demo at their recent I/O conference. They literally ran Antigravity 2.0 for 12 hours straight on stage. At the peak of this run, they had 93 individual subagents working together in parallel. And the final output? An entire fully functional operating system. No joke. That is the level of complex parallel orchestration we're actually talking about here.
Which brings us to Section 3, automating your daily tasks.
Now, even if you aren't building an entire OS, Antigravity is remarkably useful as your own personal digital employee. It's an amazing way to reclaim your time. The real game changer here is the scheduled tasks feature. You can literally just drop in a prompt telling the AI to audit your website, search through what's working and what isn't, and give you a detailed report. Set it for 9 a.m. daily, and from that moment on, Antigravity quietly wakes itself up in the background. It audits your site, scours the web for competitor changes, and has a full report waiting for you before you even grab your morning coffee. You can automate competitor research, weekly content audits. The only limit here is your imagination when it comes to delegating your grunt work.
All right, Section 4, building apps without coding.
So, what if you're not a developer? How can you use this beast to build massive, high-value applications? The step-by-step workflow is brilliantly simple, and it all starts in plain English. First, you just input your prompt. Say, build me a premium direct-to-consumer website. Instead of you guessing the market, the AI actively browses the web to research the best niches, like elite biohacking. Then, the agents completely take over. They build the front-end structure, style the visuals, and generate campaign images all in parallel. Finally, you get a live preview of the working code right there in your browser.
And the way you control this entire process is incredibly clean. The system doesn't just throw raw code at you. It uses two straightforward commands. First, you have the /go command. This acts like a project manager. It ensures that when one agent finishes the website layout, the next agent knows exactly where to add the colors and animations, keeping the whole parallel team organized. Then, you simply use the /browser command. This is basically your big reveal button. It takes all that dynamically generated code and instantly launches it as a live working website on your screen.
The results from this are genuinely mind-blowing.
In just minutes, you can prompt it to build a dark, tech luxury biohacking website, complete with scroll animations and a working cart. That's something an agency would easily charge $5,000 for. If you're a freelancer tired of manual paperwork, you can ask it to build an invoice generator. In one test, when the AI couldn't find a specific tool, it just adapted on the fly, found Python on the computer, and built the tool anyway. It can even build fully playable games. We are talking about a historically accurate French Revolution survival text game or a completely functional Fruit Crush match-3 puzzle game with graphics and score logic, all built from scratch in under 2 minutes without writing a single line of code.
So on to Section 5. Why is it free?
With all this immense power and utility, we have to pause and ask the logical question: why on earth is Google giving this incredibly powerful beast away for free? Well, as the old business saying goes, if you're getting everything for free, you are the product. Breaking down the business strategy, it comes down to 3 core pillars. First, ecosystem lock-in. If millions of people start building with this today, they're far more likely to stick with Google Cloud and Gemini services long-term. Second, Google is in catch-up mode. Anthropic and OpenAI became the faces of AI coding first, so offering this for free is the absolute fastest way to drive massive, rapid adoption. And finally, training the product. Every workflow, every bug report, and every prompt you enter teaches Google exactly how people use AI agents in the real world. That lets them improve their systems significantly faster than they ever could in a closed lab.
And finally, Section 6, the catch and real limits.
Because as incredible as all this sounds, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are real limitations to Antigravity 2.0 that you need to be aware of before you completely alter your workflow. The first major catch is the loss of flexibility. In older versions of the Antigravity IDE, you could pick one of Claude's models for a specific task, then jump over to Codex for another. You could choose the absolute best brain for the job. Well, that freedom is currently gone. You are now totally locked into the models Google provides out of the box, which can definitely feel like a step backward if you rely on mixing and matching different AI models for complex builds. Then there's the issue that drove the early community completely crazy: the severe rate limits. In the early days, these limits were genuinely brutal. You'd be deep into a build, the agents would be doing their thing beautifully, and suddenly, bam, you'd smash right into a wall. You'd hit your weekly usage caps after just a couple of deep work sessions, forcing you to sit and wait for a cooldown period.
Now, to their credit, Google heard the loud backlash on the developer forums and fixed it immediately. They tripled the rate limits and reset the quotas. Then, realizing heavy users needed even more, they came back and tripled the weekly caps again. This effectively gave users 9 times the original runway. But, and this is a very important but, this massive bump in quota is almost exclusively reserved for users on their paid plans, like the Pro or Ultra tiers. If you're on the free tier, you are still going to have to manage your resources pretty carefully.
So, we've uncovered the hidden superpower of parallel agents. We've seen how this beast can automate your daily grunt work and watched it build everything from agency-level websites to playable games, all without a single line of code. Knowing the staggering capabilities and the real limits of this under-the-radar platform, I want to leave you with this. With an entire AI software team sitting on your laptop for free, what will you build tomorrow morning?